And they're happy to be on TV.
And the kids enjoying the Grand Street Parade. It's the Apple Blossom Festival, the 79th year. So much history, and it gets all wrapped up in the Grand Street Parade and identified just by watching all of these floats. And of course, the kids are getting to see history as well as just enjoy a parade.
And it's probably fair to say, Len, that we have 3, maybe 4 generations on the street here watching the Grand Street Parade today. So from the very young at heart to the very young. And there's Dad and a little one having a good time. So this is another community we have, the village of Kingston.
It's a big year. It's the 53rd annual Kingston Steer Barbecue and Village Fair with Kingsley, the steer, and a concession stand on top of the float.
I'm not sure Kingsley understands what's coming next for him, but he's enjoying it nonetheless. Welcome to the Grand Street Parade, Kingsley.
It's a lot of fun to enjoy the Kingston Steer Barbecue, and we always enjoy going into the village of Kingston. Of course, that steer goes on the big pit. And
it's a lot of fun to be part of the Kingston Steer Barbecue. It's
always around the Western Kings Arena in Kingston, so if you ever have a chance, it's usually in July, and come in and enjoy the Kingston Steer Barbecue. It's an overcast day in downtown Kentville for the Grand Street Parade. It's a long parade route between New Minas and the town of Kentville, but everybody's enjoying it. The rain has held off, and it's really a perfect day to enjoy a parade.
There's no rain coming, Len.
Now, Sally, you mentioned that you've been part of the festival over the past 10 years. You think back to all these parades. Is there a favorite memory you have?
The favorite memory that I would have of the parades would really just be part of the Grand Street Parade, whether it's sitting here at the booth with Eastlink or actually being in the Grand Street Parade myself. I was in for 2 years, and it's quite fun to drive by and wave at all the people on the sides that really seem to know who we are, shout out our names, and it just makes it very exciting.
For many years, I broadcast the parade on radio. Last year was the very first year I actually walked in the parade.
And it was a long walk, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And that young lady going by is a Middleton Youth Ambassador that's sitting on the
Mustang.
Mustang. I was just looking there to see what she was
and
on.
I was waiting for you to say Mustang Sally, but you missed it, Len.
And I'm not going to sing it for you either.
Okay, that's probably a good.
And lots of royalty. There were 11 young ladies vying for the title of Queen of Appalachia this year. So that's 11 communities represented at the Apple Blossom Festival. And they're all part of the Grand Street Parade today. And as you can see, a big tractor coming into view. And we will have yet another princess. And this time, it'll be Princess Canning.
And it will be Brittany Maxner, and this was the first original Princess float. They did win, and you can see why when we take a look at it. Brittany Maxner is a 19-year-old daughter of Crystal and Tim Maxner of Canning. She has completed her second year at Acadia University, taking her Bachelor of Business Administration.
And her child attendant that you're going to see in just a moment is Julia Norman. Brittany Maxner, there she is waving to the crowd at 19 years of age.
And you can see why when you look at it. It was the first original Princess float. So there's a lot of work that goes into all of these floats. A lot of the time they begin next week on what they're going to come up with as far as an idea for their float.
I know you've mentioned several times throughout the broadcast about volunteers, and really if you didn't have these community volunteers, we just wouldn't see these floats.
You wouldn't see these floats, and putting the floats together is part of it, putting together the committees and the fundraising. It's all many hands make light work, that old saying.
And as Princess Canning goes by, we get ready for yet another float coming into view here in the Apple Blossom Festival Grand Street Parade. A long parade. They were anticipating somewhere around 150 entries in the parade this year.
I think we might know what this one is, Len. This is the second commercial. They won for second commercial, and I would say it's the Swimwear Hut.
Swimwear Hut is a business located in New Minas, showcasing the 2010 swimwear and lingerie.
And it's the judges' comments were that it was exciting and fun. Their float, it certainly looks it.
Looks like a lot of fun. They're well hidden. Maybe a little cool for the day.
Maybe a little cool, but I'm sure that Len, you're not going to not enjoy the float. They get the music and everything going on for them. And this is probably one of the most popular and well-known iconic images of any parade.
The PHILAE Temple Sea Shriners. The shrine has evolved through world wars, the Depression, and human catastrophes since the first meeting that was held back in 1872 in New York City. Their fraternal commitment and dedication resulted in the establishment of the Hospital for Sick Children in June of 1922 in Shreveport. It's a network of hospitals that grew. They have a great humanitarian mandate. And we appreciate everything that they do.
Yes, and the Shriners actually won for the second commercial, the second comic, I should say. And we can see why as we see the little clowns go through on the mini motorcycles. And they're always big crowd pleasers. I'm sure they're here this year too. And there they are.
There they are. In the distance, you can see them. It would not be a parade. We always talk about the marching bands and the pipes and the drums. It wouldn't be a parade without the Shriners.
The Shriners are a big part. The comedy, the community spirit, the heart they bring to the Grand Street Parade is really what I look forward to, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well.
And there's a, well, a little bit of Theodore.
It looks like Theodore Tugboat. With a shrine slant. And have you ever tried to ride one of those little mini motorcycles?
No, but with the way gas is going, I may just want to rent one from the Shriners.
you may want them to leave too, right? Actually, I've driven them before. They're quite neat to ride. I've never been in a Grand Street Parade with one of them, though. Maybe I'll be part of the Shriners next year.
Well, you know, they're very good drivers because they never seem to catch anybody's toes.
Oh, and what does that mean? Women are not good drivers, Len?
Well, I didn't say that. I said they are.
Yes. I'm just kidding.
You would never touch anybody's toes.
No, I would never.
And there's the old paddy wagon.
Oh, my goodness. Seen that before. Never from the inside.
Good thing you qualified that. And the Shriners and the Keystone Cops. And
I loved those as a kid. I loved seeing them get off and take somebody out of the crowd and try and put them in the jail there.
There's Thomas the Train, and here we are, and I hope you're enjoying the 79th Annapolis Valley Apple Blossom Festival Grand Street Parade on Eastlink TV. Welcome back to the 79th Annapolis Valley Apple Blossom Festival Grand Street Parade. My name is Len Hawley from ABR Today's Best Country. We're very proud to be partnering with Eastlink TV to bring you all the sights and sounds of the parade. Sally Wallace is a former president with the Annapolis Valley Apple Blossom Festival, but former is just a word because she's very much involved with the festival.
I absolutely am, and I say I do everything, whatever's needed, I help out wherever, because I'm so passionate about the festival and the community spirit. That's a big part of festival.
And as you watch the parade, you can see how passionate people are. Tens of thousands of people have lined the streets to enjoy it between the village of New Minas and the town of Kentville. And as you can see by all of the floats, the marching bands, people are very passionate about being part of the Apple Blossom Festival. And as we talked earlier, Sally, it really is the kickstart to the summer festival season.
Well, we said it, so we are now saying it's the official kickstart.
It's true.
And this looks like it may be the another community float here, maybe the town of Berwick.
Well, you talk about the Apple Blossom Festival. How about the Apple Capital, as it's known? It's the town of Berwick, and they have a number of events that are held each and every year.
And it makes sense because they're all agriculturally related.
And the town of Berwick float going by our vantage point.
Town of Berwick being involved in what we're calling Passport to the Valley this year, where we have the communities set up in Town Square in Kentville, and they're displaying their upcoming events for the next summer season.
And a lot of those festival events are mere weeks away as we get into the thick of the summer.